today we are working on 13-7. We are ordering decimals. We're putting them in order, either from greatest to least or least to greatest, okay? We've ordered numbers before, yes?
Yes.
Okay? Like if I gave you 324, 352, and 375, I just put those in order for you from least to greatest, right? But you would be able to tell me which one was the biggest, smallest, and in the middle, yes?
Yeah.
So that's all we're doing today, except we're throwing in decimals,
Okay.
which sometimes makes it a little bit trickier, just because you got to make sure you know your value of each place, okay? But as long as you are careful, you're going to do fine, okay? So just be careful. Don't rush through your work today. If you rush, you're going to make simple mistakes, and you're going to get things wrong. If you take your time, you're going to do fine, okay? So, it gives us some numbers to order. It gives us 4 numbers. It gives us 0.23. All right. 1.2. 0.21. And 0.19. Can you see all those? Yeah, okay. And it wants us to put them in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to draw. This right here is going to be my least. And over here will be my greatest. Just a tad for you. Okay, so I have my least to my greatest. So I need to put these 4 numbers in these 4 blanks from smallest to biggest, least to greatest. Now, when I do this, as we know, the easiest way to tell the order of numbers is to look at the place values. And the easiest way to look at place values is to write the numbers stacked on top of each other, yeah? So I'm going to rewrite all my numbers down here. I'm going to stack them on top of each other. And I want to line up the decimal point, okay? So when we have whole numbers, we usually line up the ones place, right? If we line up the decimal point, our ones place is also going to be lined up, right? So we want to make sure the decimal point is in the same spot in each one of these numbers. So I'm going to write them on top of each other. I'm going to write 0.23. Then I'm going to write 1.2, 0.21, 0.19. And you see how my decimal is lined up? And all of those, it's straight up and down. My decimal's in the same spot. I've lined it up. So even though all these numbers, like 1.2 doesn't go as far as the other numbers, that's okay. I want my decimal lined up, not my last number, okay? It's the decimal. You want your decimals all in a row right there, okay? Now that I have that written out, I can look at each place value, starting with my biggest place value, right? What's our biggest place value here? Lily?
The number before the decimal.
The number before the decimal, which is what place value? Caroline?
The whole number.
Well, the whole number, but what place value? What place value comes right before the decimal? Mackenzie? The ones, right? So we're going to look at our ones place value first. So I'm going to look at my ones place value. And are they all the same? No, 3 of them are the same, but I have one that's different. What number is different there? What do I have that's different? Charlotte?
The 1.
The 1. And so if I have a 1 and all the rest are zeros, what is that going to tell me about 1.2 right there? What do I immediately know, Charlotte?
That is the greatest.
That's going to be my greatest number because it has the biggest whole number, right? So immediately I can say that 1.2 or 1 2/10, right, is going to be my greatest number right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, can I tell anything else from the ones place?
No.
No, they all match up. So I'm going to move to the next place value, which is what? What's my next place value here? Evelyn?
10.
tenths with the TH, right? Not tens. Tens would be bigger than ones. This is the tenths. Yeah? Sorry, did you say that? Sorry, I didn't hear the TH.
I was about to say 10.
Yeah, careful, don't say tenths. So yeah, we're gonna look at our tenths. So when we look at our tenths, oh, and actually, I forgot, we can cross out this one. We don't need to look at that one anymore. So we can cross it out. We did it. We're done. So looking here, I have 2 2s and a 1, yes? So can I tell something about that? If I have 2 2s and a 1, what is that going to tell me? I don't know. I see Charlotte and Lily's hands, and Evelyn, but is there someone who hasn't answered me yet that thinks they know? If I see 2 2s and a 1 in my tenths place value, what is that going to tell me about my numbers? Jackson, what do you think? And we don't have to look at the hundredths yet because we do have a difference here, right? We have 0.23, 0.21, and 0.19. Which number there is different? In my tenths place value, which number is different? Everly, you want to help them out? 0.19. What's different about it? In that tenths place value, I have 2 2s and a 1. What do you notice about that? Well, which one's different? You said the 1, right?
Yeah.
How is it different than the 2s? Is it... Or is it... It's smaller, right? Okay, so if these two are the same, these 2 2s are the same, and we have a 1 here, that automatically tells me that 0.19 has to be my least number. That's going to be my smallest, for sure, right? Because the other two are both bigger than it. So now we can cross out 0.19. We've answered that one. And we have one place value left to look at. We have 2 numbers left, right? 0.23 and 0.21, and we need to figure out which one's bigger or smaller, where they go, right? So we're going to look at our hundredths place value, right? Ooh, that pink kind of almost erased my orange pen there. I don't know if you can see that. I have a 3 and a 1, yes? Okay. Sorry, it's getting a little blurry on the TV. It's fine on my computer. I don't know why the TV does that, because it's not blurry. Okay, it's looking better right now. All right. So we have a 3 and a 1. So knowing this, in our hundredth place value, if we have a 3 and a 1, who can tell me which number goes in this second place here? And which number is going to go in the third place here? Who can tell me? Jackson, which one do you think is going to go here? If we have least to greatest, which one's going to go here? 0.21, right? Okay. Because 21 here is smaller than 23. So, Vincent, what number has to go right here then? Yeah, 0 point is how we say it. But yes, 0.23. Now we have them in the correct order from least to greatest. How are we feeling with that? Okay? So, like I said, it's not necessarily hard. You're not even really doing math. You don't have to add or subtract or divide or multiply, right? You just have to look carefully at each of the numbers and put them in the right order. The easiest way to do it is stack them. Start with your biggest place value. Usually it's going to be the 1s in this case. You might get some 10s maybe. Let me look, actually. I don't know if you get any 10s. Yeah, you'll have some in the 10s, so then you would start with your 10s place value, right? But always start to the left of the decimal, right? Your farthest left and work your way towards the right. So start farthest left, work your way towards the right. When you line up your numbers here, what do you need to line up? Caroline, what do you need to line up? Line up the decimals. I'm going to write that nice and big.
Do we have to right, because I didn't remember that.
That is up to you, but you know me, I like to write in extra stuff.
Fine.
Just so if I look back at my notes, I remember. Line up your decimals. And it's important to line up your decimals now because when you eventually get into adding and subtracting decimals, you're also going to need to line up your decimals. So no matter what we're doing with decimals, we're going to want to line them up. Okay, so it's important to start doing it now because you're going to have to line up decimals a lot.
Can we do one of our
Maybe, but hang on. I want to look in your book for just a second because they also show us a number line. Now, you actually are not going to be doing a number line on your homework, but I want to show it to you because they have it here for us. Because we still need to look at it. Does everyone have line up your decimals written down if you were writing it down? You know what that looks like? Okay. I'm going to move my book over here so we can look here because this is faster than me drawing out the whole number line. It says here that you can also use a number line to order decimals. The decimals, it's the same numbers we just used. 0 and 19 hundredths, 0 and 21 hundredths, 0 and 23 hundredths are shown. The decimal 1 and 2 tenths is much greater and is to the far right of the number line. So you can see here, all these numbers are pretty close together. We have 0.2 or 0 and 2 tenths right here, right? So 0.19 is the line right before it, okay, because we have 0.1. So this, if we were to mark this, would be 0.12, 0.13, 0.14, 0.15, 0.16, 0.17, 0.18, 0.19. Oh, wait, how did I mess that up? Oh, sorry, because it'd be 0.11. This is technically 0.10. That's why. So this would be 0.11, 0.12, 0.13, 0.14, 0.15, 0.16, 0.17, and 0.18. Then 0.19, or 0 and 19 hundredths. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay. Then we move to 0.2, and then we just start over. So now it's 0.21, 0.22. We can mark that here if we want. 0.23, 0.24. And we'd have to go all the way till we get to, so we'd go through all the 0.2s, all the 0.3s, 0.4s, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9 before we got to 1.2. So 1.2 is not listed on this number line because it's way that way. Alright, 1.2 would be way over here. You can't even see it. Like way over here. We go through a lot of different number lines before we get there. Okay? Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Okay, if we look here, one more thing. So this 0.1, remember we can always add a 0 after it, and you can see it's 0.10, right? So we have 0.10, 11, 0.12, 0.13, 0.14, 0.15, 0.16, 0.17, 0.18, 0.19, 0.2 or 0.20, right? Then 0.21, 0.22, 0.23. Does that help a little bit if I add those zeros? Okay. Okay, your homework is just going to be page 212. Do we feel like we need to do another one of these before I send you your homework, or are you feeling okay? Okay. All right, so your homework's going to be page 212 all. Okay, I want you to do all of them. Mostly those top 6 you're just ordering. Don't forget, like in numbers 3 and 4, you have tens digits. You go into the tens place, right? Double check what it wants you to do. Here, on the first 2, it wants you to go least to greatest. But on the next 4, it wants you to go greatest to least. So make sure you check that and do it the right way, right? So the first 2, you're going smallest to biggest. 3 through 6, you're going biggest to smallest. Okay, number 7, you are trying to figure out what number goes in each of these blanks. It's the same number in each blank. Okay? It's the same number in each blank. It says that these are ordered from least, smallest, to greatest. And the same number goes in each blank. So you have to figure out what number is missing from those blanks that would make this true, that would make this correct, okay? And then the last one, basically it just wants to know, did Erica or Brooke run farther? Okay, so that's what you're figuring out. So don't forget, line up your decimals. Get graph paper if you need it. It's not going to hurt you, right? Never going to hurt you to use graph paper. Line up your decimals. Your homework is 13-7, page 212. Oh, that's only 8 problems when you think about it. Only 8 problems, so you can get that done. All right, get to work. I'm here if you have any questions. You got like 25 minutes to work right now.